Welcome everyone. In this part of the video, I'm going to discuss the bonding and coordination compounds. And to discuss or to explain the nature of bonding among metal and ligand, there are different theories. And among these theories, we have discussed one theory in our previous video, and that was Werner's coordination theory. Now, in this video, we will discuss mainly two theories of bonding of coordination compounds or bonding in coordination compounds. The first theory is valence bond theory. It is denoted by VBT, and the another one is crystal field theory or CFT. So let's start with the first theory, valence bond theory. Here this V stands for valence, B for bond, and T for theory. So in valence bond theory or valence bond theory basically gives the knowledge about the orbital hybridization of the orbital or the hybridization of the compound. After intermixing of the compound, the new hybrid orbital which formed or the process, according to VBT, we can easily justify the hybridization of our compound. The second thing which VBT can deduce, that is magnetic nature. Either the complex is paramagnetic or diamagnetic. This can also be deduced by the by valence bond theory, because according to valence bond theory we can find out the number of unpaired electron and the paired electron, due to which we can easily find out the magnetic behavior. And the next thing which VBT can deduce, that is color of the compound. As we know that the color of the complex compound or the metal, it depends upon the magnetic behavior. If the unpaired electrons were there, then the compound will be colored, and if unpaired electrons are not there, then the compound will be colorless. So these are the main points or the assumption according to VBT which we can deduce from the structure of coordination compound. So firstly, let's start with the two coordination number. One is coordination number 6 and with coordination number 4. If our compound or the coordination compound having coordination number 6, it means there are 6 ligand attached to the metal. At that time, we know the geometry is octahedral, and for coordination number 4, the hybridization comes to be either D2sp3 or sp3d2. And similarly for coordination number 4, the geometry is either tetrahedral or it is a square planar. So for tetrahedral, the geometry which we can use, it is sp3, and for square planar, the geometry is d2sp3. And if the coordination number will be 5, if there are 5 ligands attached to the metal, then the geometry will be trigonal bipyramidal. That geometry can be denoted as trigonal bipyramidal. And for trigonal bipyramidal geometry, the hybridization after intermixing of the atomic orbital or the metallic orbital of the metal, the hybridization comes to be, it is sp3d for coordination number 5. So firstly, let's do some example for coordination number 6. Then after we can easily find out the orbital hybridization, the magnetic behavior, the color of the compound according to the valence bond theory. So firstly, we will start with coordination number 6. If we have a compounds having coordination number 6, suppose I have a compound or the complex compound is CONH3 6 having 3 positive charge on the complex sphere. So whenever we have a complex in VBT, what we have to do first, we have to just find out the oxidation state of the metal first. Whenever we have a complex, just firstly, the first you have to calculate the oxidation state of metal. So here, when we have to calculate the oxidation state for, because metal is cobalt here, so that will be X, and the 6 NH3 molecules are there, and we know that the oxidation state of NH3 is 0 because there is no charge in ammonia molecule. So 6 into 0, and that will be equal to the total charge present on the sphere, that is plus 3. So oxidation state X is coming to be 3 positive. So the oxidation state of cobalt, here it is 3 positive. So what we have to do in the next step, just write down the electronic configuration of the metal ion in its its oxidation state. So we know that cobalt having atomic number 27, and here it is 3 positive oxidation state. So for atomic number 27, the cobalt has oxidation state organ 18, 3d7, 4s2. So for 3 positive oxidation state, the oxidation state of copper will be 3d6. 3 electrons will get removed, from 2 from 4s and 1 from 3d. So now the oxidation state of cobalt 3 positive will be 3d6. If it is 3d6, now then after we will plot our d orbital. Before plotting the d orbital, we have to find out either our ligand is a strong or a weak. And this can only be observed with the help of spectrochemical series of ligand. When you will see the spectrochemical series of ligand, you will find the NH3 molecule is a strong ligand. And just right here, NH3, it is a strong ligand. If our ligand is strong, then always there is a pairing of electron will takes place. And before coming to this, we have to just discuss here, if in a complex compound our ligand is strong, if a strong ligand is there, then always the pairing of electron of the metal will takes place, and at that time the spin of the complex will be termed as low spin. And similarly, if our ligand is weak, and the strength of ligand can only be decided by the help of or with the help of a spectrochemical series of ligand. If our ligand is weak, then no pairing will be possible, because weak ligands can't pair the electrons, and at that time the spin of the electron will be high spin. Though this nature of ligand was not deduced in valence bond theory, but valence bond theory only give the knowledge about the pairing and not the pairing of electron. It doesn't, or is didn't give the knowledge about the टेंडेंसी और द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ लाइगेंड. वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी में केवल और केवल हमें पेयरिंग का पता चलता है कि क्या लाइगेंड पेयर करेगा या लाइगेंड में पेयरिंग नहीं होगी, बट वो पेयरिंग किस बेसिस पे हुई, स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड वीक की, इसका पता हमें केवल और केवल जब स्पेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सीरीज डिस्कवर हुई, देन हम उसके बाद हम उस पेयरिंग को बता सकते हैं. नाउ कम टू दिस एग्जाम्पल. अकॉर्डिंग टू स्पेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सीरीज, दिस NH3 is a strong ligand, so it means pairing will be there, and if pairing is there, it means the spin of the complex will be low spin. Now the next work which we have to do in third step, we have to fill the electrons in the orbital. Since here it is 3d orbital, just draw 3d orbital for this. So there are 5 orbital in d subshell, so this is 3d6. So fill 6 electron in this 3d, 5 and 1 6. Now the vacant orbitals will be 1 4s, and the another is 4p is also vacant. But now we have to check either our ligand is strong or the weak. Here our ligand is strong, so the pairing of these electron will takes place. Firstly, before intermixing, because of the strong nature of ligand, the pairing of electron will takes place. So as soon as the pairing takes place, this electron will pair up with this one, and this will pair up with this one. Now what will happen, what will be the new format, or what will be the new structure? The new structure will be, these two are already paired, and now this orbital is also paired, and this one is also paired, and the vacant orbitals are now 2 in 3d and 1 in 4s and 3 in 4p. And how many ligands we have? We have 6 ligands, so we require 6 vacant orbital to combine or to intermix with each other. As soon as here you can count 1 2 3 4 5 6, there are 2 orbital in d, so we can write it as d2, 1 in s and 3 in p, so we can write it as d2 sp3. It means the 6 electrons of NH3, now they will combine with these 6 hybridized d2sp3 orbitals of the metal. So if these are the hybrid orbitals, if the intermixing will takes place, so these 6 ligands will get intermixed with each other. Now the ligand these orbitals will intermix with each other, and our 6 ligand 1 NH3 one NH3 is here, one NH3 will combine in S and the 3 NH3 will combine in p orbital and they will form D2sp3 type hybrid orbitals. So according to the VBT, the hybridization of this complex is D2sp3, and also here we use the d orbital which is inner d orbital, or वी कैन से जो हमने यहाँ पे डी ऑर्बिटल यूज करा, ये कौन सा डी ऑर्बिटल था, दिस इज ऑफ 3D एंड अवर शेल इज ऑफ 4p and 4s. So these p and s are in np and ns, but our d is in n minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3d, 4 minus 1 is 3. So the d electron used is n minus 1d. So the orbital is always a inner orbital complex, because हमने जो d यूज करा है वो d हमारा inner d यूज हुआ है. So इस orbital का नेम हो जाएगा inner orbital complex, क्योंकि जो हमारा d यूज हुआ वो inner shell का d यूज हो गया. So that is known as inner orbital complex. And from here we can say that if the pairing takes place and the spin is low, then the orbitals which are formed, that are inner orbital complexes. Now let's check the another example of coordination number 6. If we have our new complex CO F6 3 negative ion, if this is our complex, then firstly in the very first step we have to find out the oxidation state of the complex. So what will be the oxidation state here? Oxidation state will be the metal is CO, so X plus 6 into minus 1, so because fluorine are the ligands here and one fluorine carries minus 1 charge, so 6 minus 1, that will be equal to whole charge present on the ligand is minus 3 here. So X minus 6 equal to minus 3. So X is coming to be 3 positive again. So here again the cobalt is present in 3 positive oxidation state. So the next step is we have to write down the electronic configuration for CO3 positive ion. So again it will come 3d6 4s0 again. Now the next step is draw the orbitals for this. Now in next step, when I will draw the orbital, suppose this is 3d6 1 2 3 4 5. So how many electrons are there in d orbital? There are 6 electrons. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 1 electron is paired here in first shell. And as this is the electron in 3d6, so the fourth shell 4s shell is vacant here, 4s 0 and 4p is also equal to 0. This is 3d6. Now let's check the nature of ligand. Here our ligand is a weak ligand. When you see the electrochemical series, you will find the ligand all the halogens present in a weak ligand field. So here it is fluorine, and fluorine is a weak ligand. As our ligand is weak ligand is there, then no pairing of electron will be there. And if no pairing, so these electron will not pair with each other, and as they will not pair with each other, now we have to use these orbitals or these vacant orbitals for the intermixing. And just check the number of ligand here. यहाँ पे जो number of ligand हैं वो 6 हैं, but हमारे पास जो vacant electron orbitals हैं, these are only 4, 1s and 3p. So to make it 6, we have to use the outer d orbital, and that outer d orbital is 4d here. और उस outer d orbital के, क्योंकि already हमारे पास एक s का orbital है, 3 p के ऑर्बिटल हैं, तो 4 ऑर्बिटल्स हैं एंड 2 ऑर्बिटल की और रिक्वायरमेंट है 6 करने के लिए. तो ये ऑर्बिटल्स इंटरमिक्स होंगे एंड हाइब्रिडाइजेशन हो जाएगी. एक s का ऑर्बिटल, 3 ऑर्बिटल्स फ्रॉम p एंड 2 ऑर्बिटल्स फ्रॉम d, तो sp3d2 hybridization, and the 6 fluorine atom now combine with these hybrid orbitals and they will form a complex compound having coordination number 6. Hybridization of that complex will be sp3d2. And as already in the previous part I have told you, with the help of VBT we can find out the magnetic nature of the compound. So this compound, because there are 3 unpaired electron present in d orbital, so this compound will be paramagnetic in nature. This is paramagnetic in nature. And our previous compound which we have discussed there, as there is no unpaired electron because of the strong ligand, presence of the strong ligand, पेयरिंग हो गई थी, कोई भी अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं था, तो इसका नहीं, ये जो इसका मैग्नेटिक नेचर होगा डायामैग्नेटिक. एंड ऑल्सो व्हेन यू कम टू दिस टाइप ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स जहाँ पे हमारा वीक लाइगेंड था, पेयरिंग नहीं हुई थी, तो ये कॉम्प्लेक्स क्या, कौन सा वाला हमने डी यूज़ करा, हमने आउटर डी यूज़ करा. सो दिस कॉम्प्लेक्स कैन बी नेम्ड एज आउटर ऑर्बिटल कॉम्प्लेक्स. Whenever there is the weak ligand present in the complex compound, then pairing will not take place, and we have to use the outer orbital of, or the outer d orbital. So the name of the complex will be outer orbital complexes, and whenever the strong ligands are there, then pairing takes place, and the name of the complex is inner orbital complexes. Now let's check the coordination compound for coordination number 4 type compounds. If we have coordination number 4 type compounds, then what type of nature we can find out here? Let's check with an example. Suppose we have the complex ZnNH3 4 and 2 positive charge on the complex. First work which we have to do, find out the oxidation state of metal. So find out the oxidation state of zinc here. So it is X into 4 into 0 comes a plus 2, so X will be equal to plus 2. Oxidation state of zinc is plus 2 here. Now the next step is write down the electronic configuration of the ion. So write down the electronic configuration for Zn2 positive, as atomic number is 30, so it will be organ 18 3d10 4s0. No electron present in d orbital. Now then in next step, draw the orbitals. When you will draw the orbitals, so d orbital having 10 electron there, so 10 electrons mean all the orbitals are paired with each other, and 4s is 0 and the outer p will be 0. This 3d10 electrons are there, 4s and 4p are 0 0. And now come to the strength of ligand. Which type of ligand it is? It is a strong ligand because NH3 is here. This is, the ligand is strong, so pairing will takes place. But is there any requirement of pairing? No, there is no requirement of pairing because all the electrons are paired with each other. यहाँ पे हमें पेयरिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है क्योंकि ऑलरेडी सारे के सारे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पेयर्ड हैं. सो अब हम अपने वेकेंट ऑर्बिटल को सर्च करेंगे. हमारे वेकेंट ऑर्बिटल कितने हैं? हेयर वी हैव 4 वेकेंट ऑर्बिटल. नाउ चेक योर लाइगेंड्स. वी हैव ओनली 4 ligands, so these vacant orbital will intermix with each other, and as soon as they will intermix with each other, so the new hybrid orbitals formed are of 1 of S and 3 of P, so the hybridization will be sp3, and all the 4 NH3 molecule will combine or will get attached to these sp3 hybridized orbitals. And as soon as they will get attached to the hybrid orbitals, so from here we can conclude, or we can say, if hybridization is sp3, then the geometry for coordination number 4 will be, this geometry will be tetrahedral. So we can find out the geometry, and the geometry is tetrahedral. And from here, is there any unpaired electron present in the molecule? No, unpaired electrons is equal to 0. So the magnetic nature will be, the nature will be diamagnetic in nature. जो nature होगा तो वो nature diamagnetic कहलाएगा क्योंकि कोई भी unpaired electron present नहीं है. Now come to the next example when the coordination number is 4 again. If we have the another example, suppose I have NiCl4 or CN4. Suppose NiCN4 cyanide is act as a ligand here, and 2 negative charges present on the complex. So firstly find out the oxidation state of nickel. So oxidation state of nickel will be equal to 2 positive oxidation state. And if it is plus 2, so write down the electronic configuration of Ni2 positive. As we know, the atomic number is 28. So organ 18, 3d8, 4s2. Now for plus 2, the electronic configuration will be 3d8. Now draw the orbitals in this case. And when you will draw the orbital, 5 there are 8 electrons, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 electrons, and 4s is vacant, 4p is vacant here. 3d having 8 electrons, 4s is vacant, 4p is vacant also. Now what will happen, as we know that cyanide is a strong ligand, and if the ligand is strong then pairing will be there, and if pairing is there then these two electrons are unpaired and they will get pair up, and as soon as they will get pair up, now the new orbital which will form will be these, and the 8 electrons will be filled like this, and s is vacant and p is vacant here. And if s and p are vacant, now what will happen, now check our number of ligands are 4 here, and if the number of ligands are 4, and here we have to vacant our 4 orbitals for the intermixing. So just take 1d, 1s and 2 p orbitals for the intermixing, so the hybridization will be d 1 of s and 2 of p, so it is dsp2. And for dsp2 hybridization, a new 4 hybrid orbitals will be formed, and all the 4 cn will occupy their space in dsp2 like this, and hybridization is dsp2 here. And for dsp2 hybridization, the geometry is known as square planar geometry. For coordination number 4, if the hybridization is sp3 then it is tetrahedral, and if hybridization is dsp2 then it is square planar. And the unpaired electron, is there any unpaired electron? No, there is no unpaired electron, so the magnetic nature is again diamagnetic here. If there is any unpaired, then the nature will be paramagnetic. If there is no unpaired electron, so it is diamagnetic. It means it will get repelled when you place in it a magnetic field. So this is VBT. But VBT has some limitations. Valence bond theory has some limitations, and that limitations can be overcome with the help of next theory, and the next theory is crystal field theory. And in VBT, most of the complex compound do not have the actual hybridization which, according to the valence bond theory concept, the hybridization they should have. So to overcome that, many experimental techniques have been done, and after the techniques it has found that VBT has some limitation. That's why the new theory has been there, and that theory is known as crystal field theory. Now let's start CFT, crystal field theory. In crystal field theory, or in CFT, it assumes that the ligands are to be point charges, and the interaction between ligand and the metal, it is electrostatic in nature. If there is any point charge, then the interaction will be electrostatic or the ionic. And in CFT, due to the ionic interaction, there are some terms which has been used, and the one term is degenerate. This degenerate means when the 5d orbital in an isolated gaseous metal or the atom or the ion have same energy, so these orbitals are known as degenerate orbital. degenerate orbital उन्हें बोलेंगे जब जो D5 जो d orbitals हैं उनमें सबका एनर्जी लेवल same हो. It means if we have 5d orbitals like this, so all these 5 orbitals have same energy level, and we know the name of these 5d orbitals. This is dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square and dz square. When these all the 5 orbitals lie in a same plane, same energy, then they are termed as degenerate orbital. And this degeneracy is maintained if a spherically symmetrical field of negative charges surround the metal, and this degeneracy can be removed if there is a asymmetrical ligands or the negative charge is present. Then this degeneracy of d orbital can be lifted, and this will result in splitting of d orbital, and this 5d orbitals can be split up into two different parts, and these two different parts are known as T2 Z set and EG set. So firstly, discuss the crystal field effects in octahedral coordination entities. Octahedral coordination entities, the geometry, when the geometry is octahedral, coordination number will be 6. Two type of compounds are formed, D2sp3 and sp3d2 type compounds are formed there. And if these are the two type of compound, and we know that in these two hybridization where the d orbitals are used, these two d orbitals are dx square minus y square and dz square. When you will draw the structure of dx square minus y square in a axis, if this is a x-axis, this is y, and this is z-axis, so dx square in dx square minus y square, the electrons are present on the axis like this. Electrons are present on the axis. Similarly, in dz square, again the electrons are present in the same axis or in the z axis like this. So on the axis, in dx square and y square, the electrons are present on the axis. इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सिस में ही प्रेजेंट होते हैं, and the axes are perpendicular to each other. They all have 90-degree angle. Now let's check the case of coordination compound when the coordination number is 6. We know that for our metal, suppose we have a Ml6 type complex where 6 ligands are present. So here is our metal, and we know that the octahedral geometry is like this, in which all the ligands are attached with each other through 90-degree angle. They all are attached with 90-degree angle. All over the ligands there is the separation of 90-degree. If in this separation, अगर मैं यहाँ पे एक एक्सिस के ऊपर मैं इसको पुट करूँ, सपोज मेरा जो एक्सिस है, वी हैव दिस इज जेड एक्सिस, वाई एक्सिस एंड एक्स एक्सिस. अगर ये इस तरीके का एक्सिस है, हमें पता है कि ये एक्सिस 90 डिग्री पे प्रेजेंट होते हैं, सब एक दूसरे के परपेंडिकुलर है. अगर इस मेटल को इस एक्सिस के ऊपर पुट करा जाए तो हमें कुछ इसी तरीके का एक्सिस मिलेगा. सपोज अगर ये एक्स एक्सिस मिला वहाँ पे, इसको पुट करने के बाद ये वाई एक्सिस मिला, एंड दिस इज जेड एक्सिस सपोज, एंड दिस विल बी द नेगेटिव पार्ट एक्स डैश, this will be the z dash part, and this will be the y dash part. Now what will happen? As I already told you, in this type of complex or in D2sp3, जो हम ऑर्बिटल यूज़ करते हैं, जो ऑर्बिटल 2d के ऑर्बिटल्स यूज़ हो रहे हैं, वो dx स्क्वायर माइनस वाई स्क्वायर एंड dz स्क्वायर यूज़ होते हैं. होगा क्या? जैसे ही लाइगेंड इन्हें अप्रोच करेगा, लाइगेंड इस मेटल को अप्रोच करेगा, सपोज लाइगेंड ने यहाँ से अप्रोच करा, लाइगेंड ने अप्रोच करना स्टार्ट करा, तो स्प्लिटिंग होगी. और स्प्लिटिंग होने में लाइगेंड के अप्रोच करने से मेटल के वो डी ऑर्बिटल्स दूर होंगे आफ्टर स्प्लिटिंग जो डी ऑर्बिटल्स अलोंग द एक्सिस प्रेजेंट है. जो डी ऑर्बिटल अलोंग द एक्सिस का मीनिंग है मेटल के कौन से डी ऑर्बिटल अलोंग द एक्सिस है, क्योंकि डी एक्स स्क्वायर वाई स्क्वायर अगर मैं ड्रॉ करूँ, सो दिस इज डी एक्स स्क्वायर, दिस एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस वाई स्क्वायर के लिए ये हमारा ऑर्बिटल होगा मेटल का, और डी जेड स्क्वायर हमारा कुछ मेटल का ऐसा होगा जहाँ ऑलरेडी इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सिस में प्रेजेंट है और हमने लाइगेंड भी अपने एक्सिस से ही अप्रोच करवाया. तो अगर दोनों चीज़ें सेम साइड से अप्रोच हो रही है ऑन द एक्सिस, अगर हमारे लाइगेंड भी ऑन द एक्सिस अप्रोच हो रहा है, इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑलरेडी ऑन द एक्सिस प्रेजेंट है, सो देयर विल बी द इलेक्ट्रॉन रिपल्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑफ लाइगेंड जो कि एक्सिस में ही अप्रोच कर रहे थे, और इलेक्ट्रॉन किसके, जो मेटल के इलेक्ट्रॉन्स प्रेजेंट हैं डी एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस वाई स्क्वायर एंड डी जेड स्क्वायर में, वो भी एक्सिस में प्रेजेंट है. तो दोनों के बीच में रिपल्शन होगा, और रिपल्शन के बाद स्प्लिटिंग होगी, और वो ऑर्बिटल आफ्टर द रिपल्शन दोज ऑर्बिटल विल स्प्लिट अप विथ हायर एनर्जी, दोज विच हैव द ऑर्बिटल्स ऑन द सेम ऑन द एक्सिस. तो वो ऑर्बिटल्स स्प्लिट अप होके ऑक्टाहेड्रल कॉम्प्लेक्सेस में, अगर ये डी जनरेट था तो स्प्लिट अप होने के बाद जो हायर एनर्जी में पहुंच जाएंगे वो ऑर्बिटल्स होंगे जहां एनर्जी ज़्यादा होगी. इट मीन्स जहां रिपल्शन ज़्यादा होगा, रिपल्शन अलोंग द एक्सिस, ऑन द एक्सिस ज़्यादा था, डी एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस वाई स्क्वायर एंड डी जेड स्क्वायर का सेट एक अलग स्प्लिट होगा, एंड जिनकी एनर्जी लोअर थी उनका सेट एक लोअर फॉर्म में स्प्लिट अप होगा. और ये वाली मेटल की कंडीशन तब होगी, यहाँ एनर्जी कम है, ये वाली कंडीशन तब होगी जब मेटल अपने फ्री फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट है, देन आफ्टर वो हायर एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट हुआ, उसके बाद स्प्लिट अप होगा दो सेट में, जहाँ एनर्जी कम वहाँ रिपल्शन कम है तो एनर्जी कम. दैट सेट विल बी नोन एज T2G सेट, एंड द हायर सेट जहाँ रिपल्शन ज़्यादा हो गया था लाइगेंड की अप्रोच की वजह से, वो सेट को हम नाम देंगे EG सेट. And this is only for octahedral type complexes, and the separation between EG and T2G set is denoted by delta O. It is known as crystal field splitting energy for octahedral complexes. Now let's check examples. Suppose if we have only one electron is present in d orbital, So that can be D1. And the example, suppose here the example is titanium H2O6 3 positive. So the oxidation state of titanium is 3 positive again. So for 3 positive state, the electronic configuration will be organotin 3D1. Only one electron is present in D1. Now what will happen? The electron will fill according to the Hund's rule. This electron, which is only one, this will first come to T2G, lower energy set, and now the electronic configuration of set will be T2G1 Eg0. Similarly, if two electrons are there in d orbital, if two electrons are there like this, now how they will split? Firstly, the electrons will fill in T2G set, then will Eg. So for this, the electron will be 2 in T2G and 0 in Eg. If 3 electrons are there, so 1, 2, 3 like this, all the 3 electrons firstly fill one by one according to Hund's rule in T2G set, and then they will move to, if it is filled, then the condition is different, then the set will be like T2G3 and Eg0. These are the 3 set. But what happen if d electrons are 4 in any of the complex compound? If the electronic configuration is d4, now the conditions are different. If the d4 configuration we have, then the fourth electron may enter to Eg set और इट में पेयर इलेक्ट्रॉन इन T2G सेट. तो ये दो कंडीशंस होंगी. अगर D में 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन हुए या 4 से ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आएंगे, तो या तो वो जो फोर्थ इलेक्ट्रॉन है वो Eg में जंप करके जाएगा, और या फिर वो फोर्थ इलेक्ट्रॉन T2G में ही पेयर होगा. इसके लिए कुछ कंडीशंस हैं जिन्हें हम चेक करेंगे. सो द कंडीशंस आर, अगर मैं पहली कंडीशन की अगर हम बात करें, पहली कंडीशन, if our ligand is weak और we have weak field ligand, तो weak field ligand का जो spin होता है वो हमेशा high होता है. that is the concept weak ligand having always have the high spin, and we know that in case of weak ligand there is no pairing can takes place. क्यों? क्योंकि जो पेयरिंग एनर्जी होती है, अगर वीक लाइगेंट है वहाँ पेयरिंग तो होती नहीं है, हमें वहाँ ज़्यादा एनर्जी की रिक्वायरमेंट है उन्हें पेयर करने के लिए. तो अगर वीक लाइगेंट है, ऑक्टाहेड्रल स्प्लिटिंग एनर्जी डेल्टा ओ से ज़्यादा एनर्जी होती है पेयरिंग करवाने की एनर्जी. सो सपोज इफ़ वी हैव दिस डी ऑर्बिटल, और ये जो डी ऑर्बिटल स्प्लिट होगा दो सेट में, T2G सेट एंड Eg सेट, और अगर इफ़ वी हैव 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स और वो 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स प्रेजेंट हैं वीक फील्ड के साथ, वीक लाइगेंड वहाँ है, तो हमेशा जो इनके बीच में जो गैप होता है, ये जो गैप है T2G एंड Eg के बीच का जो गैप है, दैट गैप इज़ वेरी स्मॉल, बिकॉज जो डेल्टा ओ है ये वैल्यू बहुत लेस है, स्प्लिटिंग एनर्जी बहुत कम है, तो ये गैप कम होगा. एंड इफ़ यू हैव 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इन योर डी ऑर्बिटल, सो द 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स विल फिल, 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स विल फिल इन T2G and the 1 electron will jump in Eg. Now your configuration will be T2G3 Eg1. Similarly, if you have 5 electrons in your d orbital, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they will split like this, Eg and T2G and Eg. So the first 3 electrons firstly fill in T2G set, and then after the remaining electron will fill in Eg. So the for the set is T2G3 Eg2, because the energy gap between Eg and T2G is very small in weak field. No pairing will be there, and जो spin होगा वो high spin होगा, इलेक्ट्रॉन अपनी high energy वाले में jump कर जाएगा. इनके बीच का energy gap कम है क्योंकि पेयर करने के लिए ज़्यादा energy की रिक्वायरमेंट है, और split उनको jump करने के लिए कम में ही वो ऊपर वाले पोर्शन में जंप होगा, गैप कम होने की वजह से. तो हमारा हमेशा ऐसा हमें नेचर मिलेगा. और नेचर कैसा है? पैरामैग्नेटिक. दोनों कंडीशन में, दोनों ही कंडीशन पैरामैग्नेटिक, बिकॉज देयर आर अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. नाउ कम टू द नेक्स्ट केस. इफ वी हैव splitting energy is higher if the gap between T2G and Eg is more than the pairing होने से ज़्यादा, पेयरिंग एनर्जी से ज़्यादा, मतलब पेयरिंग एनर्जी ज़्यादा कम होने का मतलब कि पेयरिंग होगी, और वो जो गैप है, जो Eg और T2G के बीच का गैप होना चाहिए था, अगर वो गैप बहुत ज़्यादा है तो वो कंडीशन होती है स्ट्रॉन्ग फील्ड लाइगेंड के लिए. और स्ट्रॉन्ग फील्ड लाइगेंड हमेशा लो स्पिन बनाते हैं, और स्ट्रॉन्ग फील्ड लाइगेंड की कंडीशन में पेयरिंग हो जाती है क्योंकि पेयरिंग एनर्जी कम है. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन इफ देयर इज़ अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फील्ड लाइगेंड and we have D4 type electronic configuration. We have D4 type electronic configuration, 4 electron in d orbitals. So how they will form, how they will split up? 4 3 will form firstly fill in T2G and the remaining one electron also pair up here because जो इनके बीच का एनर्जी गैप है T2G और EG के बीच का ये ज़्यादा हो जाता है और ज़्यादा होने का मीनिंग है कि वो जंप नहीं करेगा क्योंकि स्ट्रॉन्ग लाइगेंड है, पेयरिंग हो जाएगी, वहीं पेयर अप होगा और जब तक सारे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स 6 तक के इलेक्ट्रॉन्स यहीं पेयर अप नहीं होते तो T2G में पेयर अप होंगे एंड देन आफ्टर इफ इट इज़ D7 तब आफ्टर द 6 पेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन इन T2G now the electron will jump to EG. जब तक ये T2G 6 में completely fill ना हो जाए strong ligand के केस में तब वो EG में jump करेगा. So this is about octahedral geometry. Now come to the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral coordination entities. In tetrahedral coordination entities there is the pattern of the splitting is different because जो tetrahedral में इलेक्ट्रॉन की एंट्री है वो इन बिटवीन द एक्सेस इलेक्ट्रॉन एंटर कर रहे हैं और इलेक्ट्रॉन अगर इन बिटवीन द एक्सेस लाइगेंड अगर इन बिटवीन द एक्सेस एंटर कर रहे हैं और इलेक्ट्रॉन हमारे ऑन द एक्सेस हैं तो रिपल्शन वहाँ कम कॉज होगा, उन ऑर्बिटल्स में रिपल्शन कम कॉज होगा जो इन बिटवीन द एक्सेस और यहाँ के लिए जो हमारा ऑर्बिटल होता है डेट इज D(x²-y²) हम यूज़ करते हैं. यहाँ तो इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑन द एक्सेस आ रहे हैं लेकिन टेट्राहेड्रल में इलेक्ट्रॉन इन बिटवीन द एक्सेस प्रेजेंट हैं तो जो मेटल और लाइगेंड के इलेक्ट्रॉन के बीच में जो ऑर्बिटल्स लेस रिपल्शन फॉलो करेंगे वो होंगे D(x²-y² एंड DZ². तो जब हम स्प्लिटिंग करेंगे टेट्राहेड्रल के केस में डी ऑर्बिटल की स्प्लिटिंग जो होगी दैट स्प्लिटिंग विल बी EG सेट. ई सेट यहाँ पे से बोला जाता है और ई सेट में जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं ई सेट में जो डी ऑर्बिटल्स होते हैं D(x²-y² एंड DZ². और जो टी सेट होगा इसके इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ऊपर पहुँच जाएंगे. टी सेट इज DXY, DYZ, DXZ. क्यों? बिकॉज ये इलेक्ट्रॉन्स यहाँ इन ऑर्बिटल्स में तो इन बिटवीन द एक्सेस इलेक्ट्रॉन आते हैं तो यहाँ रिपल्शन ज़्यादा क्योंकि टेट्राहेड्रल में जो इलेक्ट्रॉन की इनकमिंग है वो ऑलरेडी इन बिटवीन द एक्सेस है और लेकिन जो लाइगेंड आए लाइगेंड ऑन द एक्सेस लाइगेंड इन बिटवीन द एक्सेस आए लेकिन मेटल ऑन द एक्सेस था तो वहाँ रिपल्शन कम तो वो नीचे आके शिफ्ट हो गया. और ये जो स्प्लिटिंग होगी डेट स्प्लिटिंग इज डिनोटेड बाय डेल्टा T. दिस इज नोन एज tetrahedral splitting energy delta T. And in tetrahedral crystal field theory the G subscript is not used. This is only used like T2G is or EG. This can be only used for octahedral complexes. This is not used in tetrahedral because tetrahedral has no center of inversion symmetry. So here the G subscript is not used. Here for D(x²-y²) the name of the set is E and for these three set the name is termed as T2 only, not G is not used here. So that's all for the valence bond theory and the crystal field theory. Thank you. Keep watching.